Hey mamas, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to Mom Life Career Life. Today we're tackling something that I know hits home for so many of us. How to actually shut down from work at the end of the day so you're not dragging it into your evenings, into your weekends, or let's be honest, into your dreams at 2 a.m. in the morning. Because here's the truth. Just because you close your laptop doesn't mean that your brain automatically closes that work tab. Those emails, the deadlines, the random to-dos, they love to follow us into family dinners, into our bedtime routines, and unfortunately, even into our date nights. But I want to help you break that cycle so that you can truly clock out and enjoy the life you're working so hard for. But before we dive into the why, I want to share something that can take those big chunks of stress off your weekday evening. It's my free meal planning made simple guide because let's be real, nothing's going to kill your attempt at being present with your family faster than standing in front of the fridge 6 p.m. thinking, what am I going to cook for dinner? And this free guide, it's going to walk you through how to take the guesswork out of weeknight meals so that you can spend less time stressing and more time connecting. Because when you've already got dinner handled, it really makes that mental transition from work mode to mom mode so much smoother. The link, as always, is in the show notes. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work? And time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. Now, let's talk about why shutting down at the end of a workday is so tough. Our brains crave closure. If you leave a project half finished, your mind keeps poking you like your toddler tapping your arm, reminding you that it's still there. And for moms especially, our workday doesn't really end at 5 o'clock. It really just shifts gears. Suddenly, you're not the project manager anymore. You're the chef, you're the chauffeur, the referee, the homework helper. No wonder our brains struggle to find the off button. But I promise you, with a few intentional practices, you could actually train your brain to disconnect from work so that you could be more present with your family and with yourself. So let's jump in. Tip number 1, create a shutdown routine. Think of this like your bedtime routine for your workday. I actually block out the first and last hour of my workday for my morning routine and my end of day routine. And I will say, you do need to be flexible here. If someone needs that time with you, and it's the only time that works, then you do need to be flexible and switch things around. But I do block it so there's less of a chance that someone will take that time. Hopefully they'll look at my whole schedule and pick a time that isn't already blocked. But again, it doesn't always work that way. But the end of my workday, I'm wrapping up my day. I'm responding to emails I didn't get to. I'm looking at my day tomorrow to see what I need to mentally prepare for. And I'm figuring out what my top 3 priorities are for the next day. And if I need to, I actually write in my Outlook time block that I have what I should be spending that hour doing. I also have OneNote for all of my to-dos. So if I don't write anything in Outlook, I know to go to my OneNote and see what my priorities are. And then when 5 o'clock hits, it's time to shut down. During the work week, I simply close my computer and slide it under a little shelf I have on my desk. But on Fridays, that bad boy, it goes in a drawer, never to be seen again until Monday morning. Out of sight, out of mind. And your brain loves these kind of signals because it's saying, we're done here. It's that boundary. Everyone needs it. I also have a boundaries made simple guide that will help you out with this one. Again, link is in the show notes. Tip number 2, commute or fake one. If you are actually going into the office or going into work and you're commuting, use that time as a mental reset. Listen to music, laugh at a podcast, or just even drive in silent. And if you're working from home, create a fake commute. I know this sounds silly, but go for a walk or just sit outside and allow yourself 10 minutes to decompress before re-entering mom mode. It's about giving your brain space to really transition. If you go straight from work into your kitchen and you start cooking dinner, you're not really feeling that break. Tip number 3, move your body to shift your energy. Your body is the ultimate absolute reset button. You could stretch, you can dance around the kitchen. That's my favorite. You could take the dog for a walk. Even just 5 minutes helps shake off the stress and tells your nervous system, I'm in a new mode, and it's new energy. You can even have a consistent song that you put on at the end of your workday that makes you happy. And eventually your brain is going to associate that song with my end of the workday is done. Tip number 4, do a brain dump. Before leaving your desk for the day, write down everything that's swirling in your head, emails, follow-ups, ideas. I choose OneNote. I like to do it electronically and not in paper because that way I can organize it by tasks the next day if I have to. If you're a people person, I still do like paper. My big goals for the week for work, I might write down, but brain dumps, always electronic. Get it out of your head so that way you're not stressed and trying to remember it tomorrow. And I love this idea. You're going to capture it so you don't have to carry it. Think about it like packing lunches the night before. It helps you sleep better because you know tomorrow is already halfway handled. Tip number 5, boundaries with technology. We all need more of this in our lives, especially our children. But hopefully you're in a role at work where you can really set boundaries of not having to check your emails after hour. And really think about this one. If you do check emails after hours, you need to ask yourself if there's really an expectation at work that you have to respond after hours. When I was a facility manager and a property manager, that was absolutely the case. I was on call 24/7 for any emergencies. But think about it. Is it your own neuroticness, and I do call it that you feel you have to be responding to emails right away? Or can it really wait until morning? And if you're blocking out the first hour of your morning to really set your day up, that is when you can set time to check your emails that might have came in the night before and you respond to them. And if you're a habitual evening email checker, I challenge you to set this boundary for 1 week and see what happens. And if it's not the entire evening and the weekend, at least set boundaries around dinner and bedtime, that big chunk of your evening where work has zero part in, where you could be fully focused on yourself and your family. And just a warning, this absolutely can get addicting. And I'll say this, when I saw that boundaries were starting to get really hard to stick to in my old role, I looked for a new role where I could set those boundaries. So ask yourself those questions too. Number 6, take micro breaks after stressful moments. Here's one we often skip. When something stressful happens, like a tough meeting, your manager says something that rattles you, don't just push through it. That stress doesn't go away. It packs a bag and it's going to follow you home. So instead, give yourself a few minutes right then and there. Step outside, take a short walk, or just breathe deeply, because processing in the moment means you're not still chewing on it later while you're trying to enjoy your family time. I had a really tough day last week, and Russ and I had a concert that same night, and I didn't allow myself this time because I had back-to-back meetings pretty much all day, and it was a later in the day meeting that kind of triggered me a little bit. And it was something so stupid that I'm so angry at myself for allowing it to have so much real estate in my brain for so long. But there were multiple times that night that were in the concert that instead of being in the moment and dancing around, my brain was back at that meeting coming up with 20 things that I wish I would have said. And it's actually what made me want to cover this topic, because I'm usually so great at those mental boundaries. And when I don't do my close down routines and some of the things I'm mentioning in this episode, that work does creep in to my family time. Tip number 7, have a transition cue at home. Come up with the cue that really ends your workday and helps your mind transition into the evening, like change into cozy clothes if you're not already in them. Light a candle. I have my fall scented candles out now and I'm totally loving the smell. Maybe put on music or pour yourself a fun drink. And it doesn't have to be an alcoholic one because you probably need to drive your kids to activities, but maybe pour a drink into a fancy glass and it could be a mocktail, especially this time of year when there's plenty of fun full drinks that you could be making. But taking that first sip is telling your brain, we're off duty. Number 8, anchor in gratitude. I'm big on talking about gratitude on the show. Before shutting down, jot down one win from the day, big or small. Maybe you nailed a presentation, or maybe you just survived back-to-back calls without losing it. There's always something to be grateful for. For me, even on the worst day, I just stop, I take a deep breath, and I say, I am so grateful to be able to work at home, because to me, some days that is priceless. Gratitude really helps shift your mind of what haven't I gotten to what I have accomplished, which is going to help your brain find that closure. Number 9, practice mindful arrival. When you walk in the door, or when you close your office door, or when you close that laptop, or whatever you physically do to end your workday, take a moment to really arrive. I want you to mentally pause, take a deep breath, and you can even say in your head, I've arrived. I know it might sound really silly, but just try it for a week and see how it goes. And when you're saying that in your head, put a smile on your face as you walk into the room, even if you're faking it, and hug your kids, kiss your partner. and just notice the shift. I promise you that fake smile will turn into a real one in seconds. Tip number 11, redirect when work thoughts sink in. If you're not at work and you're starting to think about work and they're unproductive thoughts, or you're with your family and you should be present and your brain's still wandering back to work, say you're there stirring spaghetti while talking to your kids at the counter and you're mentally drifting to an email, I want you to acknowledge it, park it, then redirect it. You're going to take a deep breath and notice your surroundings. Notice the smell of dinner or focus on your child's laugh. You're teaching your brain that this moment belongs to your life, not your inbox. Or those unproductive thoughts. If I'm on a walk, I will literally stop, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and then open them and focus on something beautiful like the leaves on the tree or a turtle sitting on a rock. The other day, I found a fairy door on a rock, which I paused to take a picture of, but you never know what you're going to see. And you don't need to actually stop and close your eyes, especially if you're on an active street. Take the deep breath and find something around you that is beautiful or interesting, something maybe you've never noticed before. I'm really curious how long that fairy door has been there. I literally walk the same route every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and I just notice it. So just think about how many things you're missing out on because your brain is elsewhere. And if that doesn't work, just try to be mindful of all your senses. Try to find something you can see, something you can feel, something you can hear, something you can smell, and it will help you totally stop thinking about work. Number 12, reframe the evening. Instead of telling yourself, I need to stop thinking about work, flip the script and say, I get to enjoy my evening. You're getting the idea of work out of your head and you're turning a negative into a positive. And then I want you to make it a point to do something that really makes you happy and brings you joy. Fill your time with something meaningful. And the more fulfilling your evenings are, the way easier it's going to be to let go of work because you're actually looking forward to something. And if you've had a rough day and all you want to do is veg on the couch, you can make that a meaningful moment too. Snuggle up with your kids, watch a movie, or our favorite this time of year when my kids were little was Spookily the Square Pumpkin. I actually still have it saved on our DVR. And sometimes we do put it on, not going to lie. Well, mamas, that's it for today. And I just want to remind you that you are not a machine. You don't get a medal for running on fumes or answering emails at 10 o'clock at night. But what you do get is the absolute joy of being present with your babies, with your family, with the people who matter most in the places that matter most. And most importantly, with yourself. Because no one's going to look back and say, wow, I'm so glad I squeezed in that email on a Friday night. But they do remember the family dinners, the bedtime stories, and laughing until your face hurts. I'd love to hear what you're going to start doing this week to allow your brain to detach from work because you deserve to step away from work and into life. Work is only part of your story, but it isn't the whole book. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love if you shared it with a friend who needs the permission to put work down and pick life up. And don't forget to hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Life, Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Life Career Life with Carrie Pat.